Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, FD for SageFab.tv, bringing you a different video, something that you'll associate with the likes of Ben Coward, and that is Bitcoin dominance. We're going to be looking at the charts, considering multiple time frames and what it means for altcoins. Are we nearing an altcoin season, or is it going to be a down? We're going to walk through each chart and extract some insights from micro, which is 1 week, to macro, which is all time. Now, this is all objective and based on facts. I haven't even put in my own feelings and what I think about this. So I think this video is worth watching. But before we jump in, guys, please know that I am not a financial advisor. I'm just some dude on the internet interested in everything crypto, from Bitcoin to the lowest shitcoin you can find. I just want to know about it and, where possible, analyze it if I have to. But I'm not a champion for most of the shitcoins available, because I don't believe in those. I believe in strong projects with fundamentals and substance. But before I proceed, guys, please do your own research. If you can't do research, please seek someone who is actually trained to give you financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This content is also not targeting UK audiences for obvious reasons. Please do your own research. And if you are not subscribed, guys, please consider subscribing to our channel. We are one of the few channels that brings you a variety of content, mixed baskets you may not find anywhere else, because some, they try and toe a line based on their communities. I'm not like that. Here on this channel, we are not like that. We try to bring you a wider breadth or diverse basket of content that you may not find anywhere else. So, what is Bitcoin dominance, or BTC.D, as some refer to it as? Bitcoin dominance measures Bitcoin's market cap relative to the entire crypto market. It shows where the capital is flowing. So, for example, rising Bitcoin dominance means capital is flowing into BTC, and usually altcoins suffer or lag behind. Where Bitcoin dominance is falling, it means capital is rotating into altcoins for a possible altcoin season. So, based on that, this is going to form our narrative for this video. High Bitcoin dominance also means investor risk aversion, where Bitcoin is seen as safer, and low Bitcoin dominance means investors are seeking higher risk rewards, which means they're jumping into altcoins or shitcoins for higher returns, but it's also highly risky. So let's start by the weekly charts. For short-term analysis, as of the day of recording, Bitcoin dominance climbed steadily from 59.5% to approximately 65% over the 1 week. It broke a small local resistance of 59.9%, showing renewed strength. And the implication here is that investors have been rotating into BTC, possibly as a safer haven, likely due to short-term uncertainty or macro tension. And the signal for altcoins here is slightly bearish for the medium term or the immediate term. Moving on to the monthly chart. At the time of recording, Bitcoin was range-bound most of the month, fluctuating between 59.3 and 60.3. Volatility suggests a tug-of-war between Bitcoin and altcoins. Recent push to 60 hints BTC returning dominance during key market decisions, talking of your ETFs, macro triggers, and so forth. And the signal for altcoins here still remains neutral to bearish, which means altcoins haven't gained meaningful ground yet. So it hasn't been an indication for altcoin season. If you extend the timeline even further to, say, a 6-month period, at the time of recording, there's been a downtrend from May to August from 65% to approximately 58%, then recovery from September to October back to almost 60%. This shows a mini altcoin season occurred during the summer, but Bitcoin reclaimed dominance since then. The rebound suggests that Bitcoin is again becoming the primary asset of interest for institutions, because that's where most of the liquidity is. The signal for altcoins is that any recent altcoin rally may be fading. Bitcoin regaining dominance is not great news for altcoins right now, and you can tell by what's on the market today. Most altcoins are collapsing. They are getting decimated. Extending this even further to year to date, I'm talking of from January to October, which is actually the last day of October, the time of recording. BTC dominance is spiked in Q2, likely during ETF and regulatory clarity news cycles, and again in October. Strong trendline support near the 58%, holding steady around 60% or around there for now. That means dominance is consolidating near the highs, and the signal for altcoins is that the altcoin season has not been confirmed yet, and we've got to wait until BTC dominance breaks down below 57 to 58%. So if it touches 57% or somewhere below that, we know altcoin season is coming. That may still happen. We're waiting to see that. It hasn't happened yet. Then we go long-term analysis. If we cover 5 years, the previous 5 years, that is, Bitcoin peaked above 70% in 2021, fell down to 39% during the DeFi NFT boom, then recovered to 60% in 2023 to 2025. Current levels of almost 60% are a long-term average, suggesting that BTC has reasserted macro control of the market. Signal for altcoins here is that it is still Bitcoin cycle, similar to 2019-2020, before altcoins went parabolic in 2021. This could mean altcoins altcoins are coiling for their post-BTC rally move. I know this could sound wrong to those who believe in the 4-year cycle, but this is a sign of the times. What about the all-time charts? This could be distorted though. Historical lows at 35% happened during the peak ICO season back in 2017 and DeFi NFTs in 2021 manias. We are far above those levels, currently hovering at historical high dominance region. This suggests no altcoin supercycle yet, and retail speculation is still low. You can tell by the searches for crypto or altcoins, and also money coming through retail into the space. Most money has been coming into crypto through institutions and retail. From my understanding, those who played with crypto, they're actually doing, or they're jumping into ETFs and traditional stocks. Figure that out. I can't. So, looking at the time frames in summary here, we are looking at the trends for altcoins and the season signal. If you look at the 1 week time frame, trend here is up, Bitcoin dominance that is, and that's not an indication of altcoin season. What about the 1 month range? Well, it is just ranging. There is no direction being indicated by Bitcoin's dominance because it's been ranging between the 58 to 60 or 65% or somewhere thereabouts. So it is kind of neutral. 6 months, it bounced up, but not yet altcoin season. Year to date, it is rebounding, but the markets are still BTC led, not altcoin season yet. But if you consider the 1 year time frame where the BTC dominance movement is going sideways but trending towards the up movement or going up, possibly forming. So you could say, if you look at the 1 year, you could say altcoin season is forming, which is something to consider because those are the time frames that actually give you a hint before things actually happen. When you start seeing them at shorter time frames, it means if you haven't got a position, you're probably too late to be opening a position. 5 years, it's a higher average, no real hype yet. An all-time zone, it is the high zone, no bubble behavior. So if you stretch it too far back, or if you increase your time frames past the 1 year, you don't really get decent information to give you any directional movement for Bitcoin dominance as well as altcoin season. You get that around the 1 year. So whether that is going to filter into year to date and 6 months, neutral, the 1 month, I'm not sure, but I think when it does that, it will do that in quick succession. You won't have much time to blink. You blink and you miss it. What I want to know from you guys is, where do you think we are in this cycle? And do you think we have had our altcoin season already, albeit muted? Let us know in the comment section. As far as I'm concerned, there are no clear technical signs for an altcoin season yet. Bitcoin dominance remains resilient, which means most of the market confidence is still placed in BTC, likely due to ETF traction, macro hedging, and institutional activity. What will trigger altcoin season? Well, BTC cooling down after a blow off top. We get a blow off top for Bitcoin, then altcoin season will kick in. So if you are into altcoins, your best hope is to hope that Bitcoin performs or has that blow off top, which I think the way the price movement is occurring or taking place, I think we are not far off from that blow off top. That might happen this side of Christmas, you never know. And ETF approvals are done and priced in. Yeah, so some altcoins are yet to have their ETFs approved. If they do, we may get something different. Yeah, regulatory clarity for altcoins, which I think now they are all filing for ETFs. I understand they don't have to go through a formal approval. They just need to meet a criteria or a checklist against some regulations or some standard. Once they achieve the criteria required, they can be registered and launched as ETFs. I think the US SEC is trying to play an arm's length role here. And we're also waiting for that surge in retail participation. So we will get that before Christmas. I don't know whether people will be spending their Christmas bonuses or they want to do their Christmas shopping fast before they spend on crypto. Explosive narratives such as AI, dipping, RWAs, if those kick in, we may find the altcoin season will actually take off. Until then, expect a BTC dominant market. Bitcoin may be wearing the crown. The altcoin army is still marching in circles outside the castle walls. Until the gates, that is dominance, fall below 58%, don't expect an altcoin uprising yet. But when it happens, the fireworks may be loud. And current state, that's another thing you got to consider, the leading altcoin, which is Ethereum. So Ethereum dominance recently hit about 14.6%, a notable level during the month, I think it was September, October, reached that much. And ETH BTC ratio remains relatively low compared to earlier peaks, meaning Ethereum hasn't strongly outperformed BTC by a wide margin yet. Meanwhile, BTC dominance remains elevated, almost 60% or more, indicating Bitcoin still holds a dominant share of crypto market capital. What this implies for altcoin season? Well, since BTC dominance is high and ETH BTC is not strongly rising, it suggests we are not yet in a full-blown altcoin season yet. Bitcoin remains king and capital is not broadly rotating into small altcoins yet. If ETH dominance starts to rise and ETH BTC ratio begins a sustained uptrend while BTC dominance declines, that will be a clearer signal of altcoin season onset. In other words, watch out for BTC dominance going down and ETH dominance going up, and the ETH BTC also going up, and that will be a goal for altcoin. Absent that, altcoins may remain under pressure relative to BTC. Overlaying BTC dominance, ETH dominance, and ETH BTC gives a clearer map of where capital is flowing. Right now, the signs point toward BTC-led strength rather than altcoin-led breakout. That doesn't mean altcoins won't run, but the structural rotation signals for them to run hard are not yet fully confirmed. If I were reading the charts like I'm doing now, I would say that we are in a pre-altcoin season standby mode. Once ETH begins to distinctly outperform BTC and dominance shifts, then we will likely see the altcoin engine fire. If you like, what I want to know from you guys is, do you think we are closer to the altcoin season, or we are way off and we may never have that crazy altcoin season that everyone has been talking about since the bear markets? Let us know in the comment section. Until the next one, guys, FD for 65.TV signing off for now. Bye.